Hi, I'm Tam.
And I'm Jay from the Wild Swim Store.
And these are the top 10 things we wish we knew before we started wild swimming.
Yeah.
The number one thing we wish we knew before we started wild swimming was about cold water shock.
It's super important because cold water shock is the number one reason that people drown in the UK.
The key to it is being prepared and getting in slowly.
If you do want to know more, we've done a longer video all about cold water shock, which you can link to here, I never know. Now, the second thing I wish I knew before I started wild swimming was that once you're out of the water, the process doesn't stop there. There's something that's called the after drop. Your body temperature will continue to drop for up to 20 minutes after exiting the water.
Our advice is as soon as you're out of the water, get out of those wet things ASAP and then dry off and start layering up. I'm often known to wear up to 10 or 11 layers sometimes. It's much better to have more than less. Another tip is to have something on your head and around your neck as well. This will help to warm you up even more. Another tip is to have a hot drink. You can sip on it and it will slowly warm you from the inside out. The key is to warm up gradually. You don't want to jump into a hot car or in a hot shower. And if you want to know more about the after drop, we've done an extensive video which you can find here or here.
One thing that I really wish I knew before I started swimming in a wetsuit was you should use some lubricant, such as this one here. The reason being, especially if you're swimming in salt water, is the neckline of your wetsuit is going to rub against your neck, especially when swimming freestyle. Also, apply the lubricant higher up your neck than you think you need to. This is because when you're horizontal in the water, the neckline of your wetsuit is going to ride up higher up your neck. This is also great for all you runners and cyclists out there because you can use it to stop chafing in both those sports. The other thing I wish I knew was never swim alone. Always swim with a buddy, or if you can't find a buddy, at least make sure you have somebody on the shoreline.
But luckily there's a few options such as foam pouches, bum bags, or ultimately dry bag flow boat. Or a dry bag that doubles up as a tow float.
Tam, when you first started swimming outdoors, did you know what skins meant?
Well, I knew what skinny dipping meant, like literally going au naturel with nothing on, but I didn't really have a clue what they meant by skins.
So, for those of you wondering who have maybe never heard the terminology skins before, Tam is swimming skins. So it's when you swim not skinny, with nothing on, but with a swimsuit on. I'm swimming neoprene clad, or just with a wetsuit.
Wetsuit boots and socks are great for keeping your feet warm. They are also great to wear to protect your feet, as you never know what might be underneath them as you get in the water, whether that's the sea, a lake, or the river. I even wear mine in the summertime, as I hate it when you're getting in the water and there's something slimy or squidgy under your feet.
One thing I was always curious about was why in winter would you see people swimming in neoprene boots, neoprene gloves, and a woolly hat, but no wetsuit? The reason is, when you get into cold water, all of your blood will flow to the center of your body to keep your core warm. This means that your hands, feet will get very, very cold, and you lose about 10% of your body heat through your head, so it makes sense to keep it covered up.
One thing you need to really watch out for when you're getting in a place that's got rocks or on the riverbed is knowing where your entry and, more importantly, your exit points are. And especially if you're somewhere where the tide is changing as well, a spot where you're getting in might not necessarily be the right place that you'll be able to get out at, because the water level might drop or get higher and that access point might have changed.
I've spent years working out the best setup for filming in the water. I've tried, tested, borrowed, and then lost countless devices. Now, as they always say, the best camera is the one you always have on you. That's where your phone comes in. Even though most are water resistant, I would still use a foam pouch because water in the charging mechanism, especially salty seawater, will play havoc with it. These are great because you normally always have your phone with you and you probably don't want to leave it on the side while you're swimming. The only problem is you'll lose clarity from these windows. Next up, you have your action cams, like the GoPro. These are great because you get countless accessories like this floating handle that you can get with it. And they now come with really high resolution. It is an extra step if you are wanting to post it on social media because you do have to import it before you can post it. But they have great quality and are really handy with all the accessories they come with. Next up is a 360 camera. These are great. They have a lens on each side, so they capture a full 360 degrees of footage. This is great because you know you're never going to miss a thing when you are filming. The only problem is the workflow is extended because you have to choose which angle you want. The other thing is you have to be careful when you put them down because the lenses do protrude on each side and I have scratched a couple. The final option is take to the air. Drones are a great way to get some epic shots. Do be aware you will need to pass a test before you can fly them, and the height and where you can fly them is restricted.
So there you go. Those are the top 10 things we wish we knew before we started wild swimming. If you like this content and you'd like to see more swimming tips,
gear guides, or join us on our swim adventures, then hit that subscribe button and notification bell.
and until next time, happy but more importantly,
Safe swimming.